Okay, so we have last talk before the lunch. So the talk is by Professor Dr. Ruby Bakshi Khurdi. I'll just read a short introduction of hers before I invite her to the stage. So Dr. Ruby Bakshi Khurdi is a globally recognized award-winning educationist and public speaker, an author, entrepreneur, TEDx speaker, and socioculture advocate who has made significant contribution to emotional intelligence and innovative methods in education. As the visionary CEO of RBK Academy Swiss, she has redefined learning through dynamic workshops and training programs that blend creativity with impactful teaching methodologies. With a passion for empowering individuals, Dr. Ruby has conducted numerous workshops for corporate leaders, universities, and educators. A trailblazer for women entrepreneurs, Dr. Bakshi Khurdi has carved a niche for herself in Switzerland by demonstrating how innovation and creativity can overcome cultural and professional barriers. Her dedication to education extends to children's development, where she champions access to quality learning. A true global inspiration, Dr. Ruby continues to transform lives with her unwavering commitment to innovation, empowerment, and impactful leadership. So with this, I would like to invite you to the stage. The title of our talk today is Reclaiming the Human Element, Role of Emotional Intelligence in an AI-Driven World. Please.
So good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be at this platform talking about amazing speakers, amongst amazing speakers who talked about life, sun, moon, consciousness, why are we here? Why are we here on a Saturday morning discussing and knowing all about what needs to be done and what is in store in future for all of us? Okay, so the topic today is reclaiming the human element. We already talked a lot about consciousness. What are the things which are important? What are the things we ought to know? So I'll start my talk with a small Gayatri mantra, because it's a mantra, as we say, when you are in an AI world, especially, it's important that we have to know ourselves first. That's the first step of emotional intelligence, know yourself. And only when you know yourself, you are able to evolve and get to know others around you. So in the world of AI, that is artificial intelligence, I want you all to connect with me for this presentation using emotional intelligence. So I'll start with Gayatri Mantra. If you know, you can chant with me. Om Bhurbhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yona Prachodayata. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So it's very important when we connect and talk about EI. The Gayatri Mantra is about invoking that special feeling of being here, being present. It's a mantra that actually makes you feel connected. Why are we here? What are we doing? And it's also for feeling content with sun, with moon, and our very much being present at the moment. Already, Mr. Dipankar told about me, who am I? But it's very important for us to understand when we are connecting with a person, what is the reason why we need to connect with this person? Does he have something for me? Does she have something for me in abundance that I can share and move on? So it's true, we are living in a world of artificial intelligence. Yes, AI is here and it's going to be there. But still, it's very, very important for all of us being here to understand the basics of being understanding and taking into consideration what is important and how it can be taken into consideration in the long run. So if you see the quote here, it says clearly, AI may be efficient, but only emotional intelligence makes us human. We are here in this room listening and understanding. Certain things we understand very fast, Like when the keynote speaker started the presentation, in the beginning, I felt a little bit lost because it was very, very scientific for me. But by and by, when I listened, when I connected, I started understanding a bit more. It's very important for us to be in the moment because it's true. When we are living in a world where everything is so quick, so fast, we forget to be in the moment. We are on our phones, we are thinking of other things. As women, especially, we'd like to do everything in a very perfect manner, right? So we want to be perfectionist, but does perfectionist actually help us to make things work the way we want us? The way we want us to do the thing. Sometimes yes and sometimes no. Because in the passage or in the moment to do everything perfectly, we mess it up. Because our brain is divided. It's divided into different compartments. We are not able to focus at one particular thing at that particular point of time. And that's where comes the concept that we have to be mindful, which simply means you have to be mindful for your actions, what you are doing, how you are doing, what you need to do in order to make it worthwhile. It's getting connected. Okay, I'll see, traditional things always help. So in today's world of AI, it's important that we have to see what are the basics where we can still have the human connection. AI is practically like a, I would say, towering everywhere, whether it's education, whether it's banking, whether it's healthcare, finance, be it any department, it's just going on like like a Pac-Man. Those of you who have played Pac-Man when kids, it's just like pack going everywhere. It's great, it's amazing. But the thing is, we as humans are the one who are creating it. And it's very, very important. Even if we have created it, how can we have complete autonomy over it? So it's not a competition, human versus AI. No. I am going to be focusing a little bit more on, even though we are in the AI world, what exactly is AI doing for us and making us go slowly and gently. We are not in a rat race. We don't have to race against time. We have to move with the changing times. And that's where yoga also helps. Because the more you meditate, the more you realize that this is the moment, this is how I need to do, you will be able to do things in a very nice and methodical manner. Whether it's doing meditation, whether it's doing physical activities, whether it's just running, some of us like to run, whether it's running or I love to dance, dancing, anything and everything which just makes it calm down. Because there's so much going around across the world. It's going really like a roller coaster drive, I would say. But since it's so fast paced, we have to sometimes take a breath, calm down. And AI is helping us because we need to work smartly. Gone are the days to work harder. Like in the presentation you saw where the other speaker was showing and he was saying, this is by AI, this is AI generated. It's great. We have to give credibility. We have to tell where the thing comes from. But at the same time, we have to work smart. Just as we use these smart appliances, we have to work smart because AI is something that is here to help us, to ease the pain which we went through few years ago. Imagine doing everything from scratch by yourself. And now when AI is there, you need to work smartly in terms of time, in terms of perfection. And of course, you need to check also, not that everything that's AI generated is good. I'm sure those of you, how many of you are using AI in your daily life? Can I see your hands? Great, amazing. Do you think it's really an amazing tool that is there to replace things that were there in the past? It has replaced Google very well. It's amazing or not? Yes, exactly. There's always a yes and no. There's always a bright and dark side. So AI is something that is definitely there, which is computer controlled. But what if the computer crashes? What if there is no internet? You go in a place, there's no internet. We are so used to our smartphones that everywhere we go, we are using Google Translate to talk to the people. It's amazing. It's great. I'm not against technology. I love technology. But when we talk about EI, it is something that goes hand in hand with AI, to make the work faster, smarter, and at the same time be a little bit more creative in your own ways. Not that you are doing cut, copy, paste and moving on, because there you're losing your creativity. There's no authenticity. There's no originality. Everything is becoming very much technically or AI graffited. So it's important when we talk about AI, what is your input? What are you doing to make it more your style? And it's very important when we talk about AI generated, or when we talk about AI, what it's doing in the real world is something which definitely makes the work go click. Like, the moment you write something on Perplexity or Chat GPT, it does it in a wonders. Like in seconds, you have all the data, which is great. The biggest advantage, which I think is it's already improving, because whatever questions you had in the past, you were putting in Google, now you're putting in AI, and it generates the answers like boom. You say, I want 5 benefits of this, it comes. I want 6 benefits why I should do yoga, that comes. You say 6, you say 10, it just gives you the answer in nanoseconds, which is great. But the thing is, with passage of time, it's us humans who are adding on things here and there to make it better. So it's a big advantage. Yes, we have to use it diligently. But then there's a flip side also, as you said. It's both plus and minus. So when we say plus and minus, the biggest disadvantage which I have seen, I'm sharing my personal experience, you may be having yours, is the ethical biases. Okay, the ethical biases which we do see when we are using AI, because certain things may not be exactly culturally correct, which in your culture may be okay, but in other culture may be a big taboo. So we have to be very, very careful and sensitive to that kind of information. The other thing is that it lacks human judgment and creativity, because everything is AI generated. So we are becoming more and more lazy. We are becoming more and more like, okay, just put it in the system and boom, the answer will come. There's lots and lots of people who are just relying on the data that is generated. But don't forget, you are putting the information. You are putting what you're looking for as an answer. So the more specific it is, the more specific you will be close to your answer. But one flip side, one thing that you miss, the information that is generated will not be exactly what you were looking for. So it's very important that whatever AI is doing, it's great. But in terms of the disadvantages that you see, like right now I've put more advantages because it's booming, it's coming up. Disadvantages I've put less. But by and by you will see it will be like almost equal, it will be almost equal, because disadvantages we can't ignore. The cost factor, that's big. We can't ignore that. And with this, what is happening is when we try to see the battle between EI and AI, it's great, it's amazing how EI still is trying to have its balance, because it's we humans who have created it, right? What we are losing, especially now, because of our smart gadgets or because of the AI, how it's kind of dominating the world, is human touch, the human connection. Even in a room, like sometimes when I'm in my classes, I see the moment I give break to my students, they are on their phones. They don't talk to the person next to them. They don't interact with the person next to them. They are talking to a digital world where they are connected with thousands of people. They're talking, hey, how are you, to that person, but they're not talking to the person who's just sitting next to him or her. It's a day-to-day practice. Or when I give them this was one example where I see they are never on their own. Second, what I see most of the time is whenever in the past we would give them group activities to the students, they would always research, discuss, have a team to talk about the ideas. But what is happening now is they just put it on ChatGPT and get the answer. So if I tell them, what would you do in this scenario? They are not using their brain. They are not using the gray matter here. They are using their screens and putting up the information to ask about what do we do. If this is a scenario, what do we do? So there are so many smart things. The more you pay, if you take all these subscriptions for these smart AI tools, the more information you will get. It's good, but in the mad race, we are actually becoming more and more slaves of technology and losing on empathy and ethical judgments. Unfortunately, that's the flip side. So again, I'm repeating, I'm not against technology, but we have to have a good balance so that EI and AI go together. And that's where we need emotional intelligence. EI is not a soft skill, it is a human skill. It is something when we talk about EI, people always say, yeah, it's a soft skill, it's a HR skill that you have to be connected with your employees, you have to have as a teacher to connect to your students. Yes, it is. But it is a human skill because it's not empathy. I can't teach you. I can't tell you to be kind. I can just show you ways that you can be kind, but I can't install that in you. Ale, you have to be kind. If you're kind to 2 people today, I'll give you a bonbon. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Maybe as kids, you are trying to install those habits in your children. Yes, it will work then. But as human beings, as adults, 18 plus, if you are trying to give these kinds of small greets to the people, if you do this like a transaction, like a business, it doesn't work. So emotion intelligence is a human skill which only comes into practice when you evolve as a person. Okay, so here I have a scan code. If you're having your smartphones, those of you are having, you can just scan it and tell me, how are you feeling at this moment? It's almost lunchtime, past lunchtime. How are you feeling now? So you can just write on your feeling like good, bad, hungry, tired, whatever you're feeling, you just write on. Yes? Okay, you feel good. You can tell me like that also. Those of you who are little tech savvy, you can just scan it and write it over there. You feel good? Yes? Anyone else? How do you feel? Hungry? It's very true. We are all emotional people. We are excited when we are doing something exciting. We become scared when we don't know where we are going. Okay? You're climbing up a mountain, you know, in 10 minutes, if your GPS tells in 10 minutes you're going to be on the top and there's a restaurant, your speed becomes faster. That's human mind. Your speed becomes faster because you go very fast. You know it is something that I'm going to get at the end of the race. So whenever we have a gratification, whenever we have rewards at the end of the tunnel, our speed, our work becomes double. We multiply that energy. So emotion intelligence is something which is very, very close to my heart. It is something when you feel good by yourself, you are aware of your inner self very well, you will automatically start connecting with the other people. It's something that will definitely help you recognize yourself as a person, good or bad. You know yourself. We all camouflage our feelings. Even if sometimes you're not feeling good, we are in an organization or we are in service sector, we have to have that smile, the plastic smile. We have to smile to show everything is good, everything is okay, even though it's not. But in EI, it is something which helps you to evolve as a person every single day. We all are born with an IQ, the specific IQ. You know, when kids are small, you say, oh, he's smart, he's intelligent, he's going to become a doctor, he's going to become an engineer, or she's going to become a beauty pageant if she's very beautiful and she speaks little less. She's good looking, she might become a model, you know. We often judge the people either by appearance or their IQ, okay? But the good news is, EQ, which is emotional quotient, is not something that you're born with and it stays the same. Emotional quotient is something that evolves with passage of time every single day. Like in the presentation when he was talking about the lunar position, you know, like the movement of moon, right? Some days it's good, some days women don't feel good because of the days that they are going to have their periods. It's very, very normal. We all have our emotional moods, our emotional junctions. The more we feel good ourselves, it impacts our actions because every action has a reaction. If our boss is bad to us, he's nasty to us, we try to show not at that time that we are nasty, but we reflect in our actions by doing something which is kind of not what he or she was expecting. So emotional intelligence is something that you can evolve with passage of time because of the different emotions we go through, right? Emotional quotient is definitely going to help us because of the 5 pillars that you see here. It's like the competencies that help you evolve every single day. Today, you might be feeling emotionally charged because you are listening to these speakers, you are interacting with each other. It is something different. Some of you have traveled from far to be here. So, emotionally, you are very much like in excitement mode. But maybe if you're not getting food on time or there's a big delay in serving you drinks, you start getting, oh, come on. You start feeling a little bit agitated, irritated. Some people might even feel angry, which is very normal. There's nothing to be, there's nothing wrong to be angry, or there's nothing wrong to be showing your real emotions. Okay? So if you see here, emotional intelligence is built up on these 5 compartments: social skills, self awareness, self regulation, empathy, and motivation. The more you are able to work on yourself, whether by doing yoga or by doing anything that gives you happiness, you will evolve as a person, definitely. There's no second thoughts about it. You will definitely evolve as a person because you are aware. You are your best judge. There's no camouflage. You can use filters to look good, but there's no camouflage with your inner feelings, right? What you're feeling inside, good or bad about somebody or about yourself, it immediately reflects the moment you see the person on the other side of the mirror. So the more you are self-aware, you are able to channelize your emotions better. That's self-regulation. Like when she was talking about some bad habits, okay, there are some things that you're not supposed to do in public. Let's say smoking, having drugs, doing things which are socially not okay, right? It's only when you are strong within yourself that you say, today I'm not going to smoke. Today I'm not going to have alcohol. You will be able to build on it. So self-regulation is a must, whether it's habits like this or stealing, saying lies, anything and everything. You have to have strong self-regulation. And only when you have strong self-regulation, you will be able to develop your social skills. They look like 5 different compartments, but they are all intertwined. It's like Kundalini. They are all intertwined because if you're able to work on yourself better, you will be able to interact better. It's like when we feel comfortable in our skin, we are able to connect with anyone and everyone in the room. But when we are not comfortable, when we, like, let's say you want to go to toilet. Okay, again, I'm sharing examples which are very, very relatable. You want to go to the toilet, okay, and the session is going on. You can't leave the room. Automatically, you're neither here nor there because you're like, it's nice. But you are struggling within because it's a nature's call. It's not something that you're inventing. By getting up, you are showing disrespect. That's what you feel. It's like a social thing. If you get up, and especially if you're sitting in the front row, you get up and leave, you think, oh, they're going to think I don't like the conversation or it's an insult. But if you listen to yourself, I need to go. I can't make a fool of myself sitting here. I need to go. You leave, but later on, you have to tell to the person. Make it a point that you interact with the person to tell, I'm sorry I left in the middle because I had to leave, but now I'm here with you 100%. It's very, very important. These things, they are intertwined with each other in terms of the more you are able to develop your social skills, your personal skills, automatically you will be living in a world of empathy. Like you will become empathetic towards other people. Again, it's something which you can't learn by reading a book. You have to experience it. You can't learn by watching somebody all the time. You have to experience it yourself. And if you like it, if you are happy, definitely it will be a step up. Okay? So these are the 5 main components which definitely help you evolve better as a person because you know your shortcomings and at the same time you know you're strong. You know your superpowers as well, right? So if you know your superpowers and you know your shortcomings, you can definitely take the best of it and move with your better version. But for that, you have to be motivated from within. You have to have intrinsic motivation. Only if you have intrinsic motivation, it will push you to give your best. Okay? Now, this is something I'll just quickly say, which some of you can relate to. Cultivating EI in classroom. As I said in the beginning of my session, we are going to be talking about EI in the AI world, right? So those of you who are teachers in the room, professors in the room, lecturers in the room, I think you can associate with it very quickly. How can we develop EI in a classroom? Whether it's for higher education or it's for kindergarten, or even if you're a trainer in a session where you're conducting, you want your learners to be with you. You don't want when you're talking, they leave the room or they start yawning or people start looking at the watch. What's time? How much time he or she has spoken? You want to be with them physically and mentally, right? Right or wrong? Yes? So these are 4 steps, basic steps that you can definitely take into consideration when you want your learners to be with you, whether in a classroom or in a training room or in a boardroom, wherever. It's applicable everywhere. So the first step is self-awareness, which I already talked about. Moving on, you have to build empathy. It's very, very important. If you see someone is constantly scratching his head or yawning or not really paying attention, make it a point that you connect with him. Hey, what's wrong with you? Are you not well? Suddenly that person will be like, oh my God, because he or she's getting attention. But if you keep ignoring, I'm not saying that you can do it with 100 people in a room. It's not possible. But if you identify some people who are not with you, make it a point that you pinpoint that person, you connect with that person. The audience will connect instantly because they see that you are there for them, right? Especially in a classroom when we have some students who are very shy. I have a lot of students from Asia who are very, very shy. But then I have European kids. I mean that they are students from 18 to 45. Sometimes they're even older to me. So I say kids because I'm teaching them. So sometimes when I have students who are older than me, like when I'm doing corporate training sessions, so if someone is on a phone, like he's talking, I'm conducting the class, but he's constantly going on the phone, but showing as if I don't see it under the table. So I'll say, yes, sir, would you like to answer? Sorry, could you repeat the question? I didn't understand. That's the typical answer. I said, I just said the answer I repeated the question 2 times. Do you want me to repeat the 3rd time? And when I say this, automatically people know that here we can't fool. We have to be physically and mentally present. So this is just a small trick. And it definitely works. I have seen and it works because when you show that you are connected with them, audience will also be there with you. Then we have relationship skills and stress management. They go hand in hand. As a teacher, as a tutor, or whatever role you are playing, it's very important to show your students, your learners, that you are with them. If there's someone who's very, very quiet, try to involve him also. You have to actually practice inclusion at all times, in every place. Because if you don't involve them, they'll be in their smart, smoky corner all the time, thinking that no one is watching. So it's very important, especially as educators, that you make a kind of relationship with your learners in such a way as if you're throwing a ball and they're supposed to catch it. But if you're just holding the ball to yourself and just talking and paying attention on your PPT or paying attention on what you're supposed to deliver, it's a one-man show. There is no two-way. There's no communication happening. It's just blah, blah, blah going. Whether they're actually listening or it's going out from the other ear, we don't know. So it's important, you have to develop relationship and at the same time, manage stress. If you see people who are answering too much, then you have to say, hey guys, let's give them also a chance. Let this give her also a chance. It's very important to equip your students' emotions at all times because some students are very quiet. They never answer. Or maybe they have some other things happening in their mind, right? They're afraid of exams. They're afraid of speaking. They're afraid to come up and give a presentation. So make sure whatever doubts or fears our students or our learners have, connect with them. Because only when you are connected with them, you will know their shortcomings, you know what they're feeling. Otherwise, there is no connectivity. My personal perspective, I'll just quickly share with you because I know we are running short of time as well and we have people waiting for lunch. So I'm going to talk about a very, very simple thing. This actually happened in my class where, I have taught students roughly 60 to 65 nationalities in the same classroom. And recently I was in India where I gave training to around 300 school teachers. And this was primary, secondary, higher education, all in the same room. So when we were talking, it was very interesting to see how each teacher was sharing their example when they deal with kids who are very smart or when they're dealing with kids who are very naughty. We tend to remember the people who are very naughty or very smart. But the people in the middle, do we remember them? Yes or no? I wouldn't say yes, we do remember because we may or may not know because they're so quiet. They're not making any noise. So it's important as an educator, make sure whether you make noise or you don't make noise, you have to take every student into consideration. And at the same time, connecting using your own techniques by role plays, by group discussions, by brainstorming, or using technology the way I told you to scan. So normally in my classes, when we are scanning, I even show how many students have answered. Here I did not want to do because I was not sure whether you will be able to take it or whether we will have Wi-Fi here or not. So you can actually see how many students have answered in the class. The things that they write, some people, whether they're writing something positive or negative, that also pops up. So it's just to engage everyone in a way that they feel listened. Because that's what is happening in the AI world. We are losing our voice. Only people who make noise, they are listened and they get the benefits of talking. But those who don't speak, they are doing their work. I'm not saying that they are dumb, that's why they are not speaking. No. They are not speaking because they are too quiet or in their culture, you don't make noise. You just do the work. Focus on work. As in Indian mythology, you say, Karm kiye ja, fal ki chinta mat kar. Don't worry about the output. Don't worry about the benefits. Focus on karma. Focus on your tasks. But we have to be very, very careful and we have to be very, very, I would say, focusing on those kind of people also who don't make much noise. It's important. We have to have more and more team building activities. Try to mix and match. Try to place people who are making more noise with people who are quiet. Make sure that each voice is heard. It's very important. It might look, maybe the person doesn't want to speak. Why do you want to put him in the spotlight? It's not, I'm talking about students who don't want to speak or who don't want to be embarrassed by speaking. Just by connecting, by knowing them that you have to make an impact, you have to understand this concept, make them listen, make them feel valued. Because the more you will do this, you will show that you're supporting them, you're understanding them. Because in the AI world, as I said, we are losing connections. We are losing the natural connections with each other. It's becoming very artificial. You are connected with thousands of people on social media, but not to your own family, not to your own brother and sister. And that's sad. That's the irony of technology. Or I would say that's the irony of these smart gadgets that we are forgetting on the basics that could have made it better. Change management with EI. How? Because of these constant changes, we have to update our skills as well. It's very, very important. EI can come into practice instantly, flip in easily, because when you are doing tons and tons of changes, sometimes people who are in 50 plus category, they're like, what the hell? I just learned this and now I have to learn something new. But when at workplace especially, you are supposed to learn new things from time to time because of technology, because of AI, because of anything that the organization is going through a change. And if you don't change, people think, he's obsolete or she's obsolete. Let's just ignore this person. Ale, who's ready to do this? And you go with the flow. So emotion intelligence comes into picture there as well because you work in teams. You make sure that we are actually practicing inclusion. We are actually taking everyone into consideration who know the things, who know the basics, and make them work together by communicating transparently. It has to be transparent. Do not hide the information. Communication has to be free flowing, because the more you communicate, the more you are going to evolve as an individual. And there, your EI will definitely make you adapt to new technology with quick passage of time. It's going to be a smooth transition rather than a rocky transition. So in here, if you see, when we say adapting new technology, COVID has been a big learning process, at least for me. In the past, we would always be doing workshops on Zoom, and my assistant in the school would always help me connect. They would always connect. They would always. I was just going to speak. I did not even know how to connect, how to spotlight, or how to make people shut up. Or how to make the chats, like deactivate the chats. I did not know any of that. I would just speak and have audience interaction and done with it. But during COVID, when we had to do every single thing from scratch, I learned a lot. Because sometimes in life, we take things for granted, whether it's because of our protective families, whether it's because of our culture, whether it's because of our caring husbands or wives or brothers and sisters. We take things for granted. There are a lot of small things here and there, which we're like, okay, I know it's like this. So it's very important when we have such situations which are, I would say, bad kind of situations, we have to learn fast from those situations so that we can evolve better. So it's crisis that will definitely help you evolve better, because you will know what to do and what not to do. So this is a comparative chart, which you can see here, why I think EI is more powerful than AI. It's not a war, EI versus AI. It's just because AI can analyze data, but with EI, you can interpret emotions. You can have data, you can have whatever information you want, but only EI will help you to analyze whether that data is usable or is just crap. AI can automate responses, whereas EI will help you develop them with compassion, understand and connect with compassion, because you will be able to adapt to individual needs. It's very customized. Whereas AI, it will just scale all the things for you. It will compartment all those things for you. But how to use that information, how to utilize that information, and of course, take ethics into consideration, only EI can do better and faster. I already talked about crisis. It's only when we have crisis, we start thinking about people. So this is something which is very, very important, where EI will definitely come to your rescue to focus on the main points, to focus on the main criteria, because the more you clearly talk about the mistakes, the problems, or what exactly is going to happen, the more clear people will be and act accordingly. And it's during those times you have to keep calm, practice whatever makes you feel better and evolve as a person. Because EI is there to stay. It's totally in us. It's not something that I can teach you to understand it better. It's something that the more you are at peace with yourself by doing yoga, by doing chanting, or by doing any exercise or reading books, the better it would be for you in terms of developing as a person. These are some of the steps to work on your stress management, emotional regulations, and resilience building. This goes hand in hand, because the more you are resilient in the present day world and not bothered by what is happening around you. Sometimes it's better to ignore the noise. Because the more you start listening to the noise around you, the more you start feeling uncomfortable. Oh, he knows more than me. She knows more than me. You start becoming uncomfortable in your own skin. So it's important. You have to have that feeling of never give up. You have to be resilient. And sometimes you have to be thick-skinned. Ignore the things that are happening around you, because the more you are thick-skinned, you will be able to focus on your objective loud and clear. You have to be like the things that horses wear, you just see when you're racing, the jockey is able to focus better with the horse because the horse is just focusing in front. And that's what you have to be. You have to be thick-skinned, focus on your objective and keep moving at a pace which is consistent. Remember the key word, consistency is the key. If you're consistent in your thoughts and actions, you will definitely evolve as a person. It's almost going to end. I'll move on from these are, as I just told you in the beginning, there are different sectors. This is hospitality, where EI also will help you develop more as a person, because it's in hospitality sector or any service industry where you have to have that plastic smile at times, because you're stressed. You might have angry customers, you might have noisy customers, and even if you are feeling a headache and you want to kick that person, shut up and leave me alone, you have to be like, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, how can we help you? You have to have that spirit. And that comes with high emotional quotient. The more emotionally you are above and beyond, the better you can do at workplace. So I would like to conclude my session with a quote: AI plus EI is human-centered innovation. EI and AI have to go hand in hand, but overuse of AI is not permitted. You have to have a balance, because excess of everything is bad. So even AI has to be controlled in such a way that you actually see good results flowing up. And it's very important when we have a good nurture, when you have a pot and you put water moderately, give good sunlight, automatically the flower will go well. But if you're overdoing, putting more water, putting more in sun, you're just being enemy to your own pot. So emotion intelligence can evolve, as I said, with passage of time. You might have days, rough weathers, you might have rainy days, you might have snowy days. You are supposed to take your own cover. You are supposed to take your own shield and protect yourself. Do not be misled with too much information, because sometimes information overload can also harm your brain, can also harm your own persona. So it's very important. Emotion intelligence will definitely help you to develop as a person who is strong inside and outside. We give example of a coconut, strong outside but soft inside. But you have to be a person sometimes even strong inside, because of the people or the mass, the noise that external environment is creating can be harmful sometimes. So protect yourself, because the more you protect, the more you'll evolve. AI is here to stay. EI is our responsibility. This is a quote which is very, very close to my heart. And you can listen my TEDx talk as well, where I talked about I gave my TEDx talk 6 years ago, where I said how you can learn human values by emotion intelligence. So you can later on see the talk where I definitely talked about AI 6 years ago, where I said EI is our responsibility, because the more we take care of ourselves, we will be able to connect and take care of other people. With that, we come to an end. Thank you very much. Please stay connected.
Thank you so much for this wonderful talk. It's always a very pleasure to listen to you. I hope there are many questions. We'll directly rush into the question Q&A. So I have one question here.
He didn't give you the chance.
Thank you so much for a nice presentation. Especially you're a nice teacher, because you caught our attention when everybody's hungry. So with that saying, I mean, your talk is creating a lot of concerns inside me regarding being a teacher in future society, and the role of schools in future societies, and the role of education. Because with AI, practically anybody can become a subject matter expert in a matter of minutes or seconds or days on any topic. Just being in front of a computer, anybody can learn, even kids or being adults.
True.
But I would like to have your perceptions as to answering this question as to how do you see the roles of teachers and schools becoming in the future? Because I see the schools would be a place for teaching subjects, but rather a place for enhancing human skills and learning human skills and how to be a better human being. This is my perception. I would like to have your perception as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. What's your name?
My name is Vishwa.
Vishwa. Thank you, Vishwa, for such a wonderful question. Yes, it's true. These days, anyone can just put on the information and get the content and start delivering the session or start delivering the lecture. But it's the teacher's responsibility in the future where they are actually going to install the good values or good habits in their students, because it's only a teacher who has empathy or who has the right skills to connect with the students, he or she can guide them properly. Because learning or reading from the slide is not a teacher. Because in the past, like sometimes when it's a good day, I even take my students outside and we have classes in the garden. When I'm not using a beamer, when I'm not using any technological tool, we go out and we have a brainstorming session. So I think sometimes it's good to go back to the roots where in the past we had Gurukul system, where learning was actually happening outside without using these gadgets. So sometimes it's better when you tell your students to research something, but without using your computers or without using the phones. And I'm happy that in some of the schools now, it's coming back, that students are not supposed to use phones. In the past, it was students were using, but now more and more countries have started enforcing the law that students can't use phones in the classes or laptops. If they have to use technology, they have to go in the computer room where they will be using. So future looks little bit, I would say, stronger in terms of when you are having the right blend and balance, not overdoing everything, which was actually happening in the last 2-3 years. Overdoing everything is kind of catastrophic. Thank you.
Thank you. One last question.
It's nice presentation. I like to also, this conference is called Science and Spirituality. We organize, I'm a priest or I'm a monk since many years, and I'm working with other monks who are really helpful. And I see myself, we are an institution, and we have many gurukuls and centers around the world, and we reconnect ourselves with God. So my experience being a practitioner into the Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, and this is helping me a lot to do my yoga. And I can see that God is a person, and He's always helping me to balance my emotions into management, into practicality with my spirituality, to be connected with the people. And as you said, we have to be careful not to be overwhelmed with this artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
And which is a calamity today. It's really going above the limits of the animality, animosity and animality. So just a little comment. It's as interesting that when we have this, to develop this faith into spirituality, connection, yoga means yogam, connection with God. And this is, we have not to forget this very important aspect, that science is also spirituality. And spirituality is also a science. So your presentation is very good on the emotional intelligence. And the success we can really have in ourselves. This is, I can see myself, I'm blooming, I'm developing myself only by the mercy of God.
True.
And my teacher. So I think it is a very important issue that all this scientific presentation, that we to remind ourselves, we are in the hands of God every day, every moment. And if we don't make any awareness that the person who is like my angel, they are angels who are protecting ourselves. the origin of life. Atato Brahma Jigyasa, which we speak about Atato. Now, the human form of life is now. Atato Brahma Jigyasa is to now, to inquire.
It's now, at present.
To present, to remember God. What is God? Who is God? And be a part of God, and we're all godly. And if we remember this yoga in ourselves, I think is very important. In all the presentations, we can study, we can be PhD, sorry, but we can be PhD or master or MBA, whatever. But if it is connected with the divine, we can achieve amazing results for ourselves. By example, when I have to do management for organizing this conference, with,
You're stressed.
sometimes it goes beyond my limit.
True.
What I'm doing, I'm sorry for my god brothers and god sisters, I am looking at the best comics on internet. Really. I look for the best comics in the internet. I forget completely my stress. And then I become really relaxed, and I can go on continuing for the management and facing, I have to face sometimes
True.
depression and really.
See, what you are saying, it's very true. We all go through that. We have to find how we can relax. That's what I said. Some people relax by yoga, you read comics, some people watch movies. You can do something to de-stress and then be charged again.
Yes. But I keep my spirituality in the center.
Okay, that's good.
This is my life and soul. My spirituality, I do everything from keeping my spirituality in the center. And because of this spirituality, I can grow. I can see the world, how the world is in need of people like you and teachers and mentors. Do we need mentors today?
Absolutely. We need more now.
Yes.
In the AI age, we need more. Teachers, like as a teacher, I'm playing role of a mentor, sometimes mother, sometimes sister, sometimes a colleague, like a buddy, with the people who are much older than me. I have to play a role. I don't have to show them that I'm better than you, but I am guiding them. I'm their coach. So we do need mentors more because we are so much disillusioned by what is going around us that young people are going through this depression. In the past, depression was people who were loners, like, like a nester, like empty nests, parents 50 plus or 60 plus whose children have left. They're all alone. So they would feel depressed. They would think about the times when the children would come home, we would have parties and they would feel depressed. So it's agreed because they are alone, they are lonely. But imagine kids, sometimes our students who are 17, 18, they come and they have a medical certificate that says this person is undergoing depression. 17-year-old who has not even faced or seen real life, he's still not an adult, and depression. So it's because of overexposure, because they are seeing so many things on internet before time, which is definitely having an information overload. So when you have too much information, that's also not good. And that's where you need to calm your emotions. You need to work on yourself every single day, because the more you will work, you will definitely evolve as a person. But when you see so much at an age that you're not supposed to see, you end up having depression or you end up having some medical problems, which I don't even know. There are so many. But I only know about the students who come who have these medical papers that say this, which is sad. It's a sad state of affairs. Even though we are advanced, we are in an era where we are digital era, but still they are facing such problems, unfortunately.
Well, thank you very much for your wonderful presentation. And not to forget, yes, it's very good.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
We all appreciate. And not to forget our divinity. And also, this divinity connection with God can save us. Really,
Definitely.
in all situations.
Definitely.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much for this wonderful session. So I'd like to invite you to offer our speaker memento.
You can take this out.
Yes.
Wow.
You can, yes, you can look into the camera and get a picture. Yes. Thank you. Perfect. Thank you so much. So before the lunch, we'll make a group picture of everyone in the stage. So I'd like to welcome everyone to come for the picture, and then afterwards we'll go for lunch, and we'll start the session at around 2:10 afterwards.